Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Today's video is going to be another reaction video, but this time we're going to do it a bit differently. I'm recording this part at half time and I'm going to be recording my reaction to the end of the game after the game. So we started with four at the back: Llorente, Cooper, Dallas and Ayling. So Strike goes into midfield, and obviously, as we know as Leeds fans, you may not know if you're not a Leeds fan, if there is a lone striker in the opposition team, Bielsa will play a back four, so two centre backs to mark him. If there is two strikers in an opposition team, Bielsa will play a back three with wing backs, so that there's always one more centre half than there is striker. 5 minutes in, El Ghazi scores. It came in off a corner and dropped to Watkins on the edge of the box. Watkins slipped and his missed kick of a shot actually went through to El Ghazi, who'd made a run, and El Ghazi took a very good touch and blasted it under Meslier. So yes, somebody should have tracked his run, but everybody's expecting it to be a shot and not an accidental pass in the end. I honestly didn't want to mention the pitch in this video, and I wasn't going to, but it seems worse. Everybody's slipping around. Leeds players are trying to play balls into each other quick and sharp on the ground, and everybody's just slipping over everywhere. Obviously Villa players are as well. It's the same surface for both teams, but it's just one of those where it's not ideal for anyone, and it's just a bit annoying to watch when sometimes your players are in a very good position and the ball drops to them and they just slip and miss it, and it's not their fault really. The way that the actual game has gone so far in this first half is that Villa are pressing high. I don't think they're pressing as intensely as what Southampton did at Elland Road, but they're pressing high, trying to win the ball in the final third instead of letting us come onto them too much. In the first 10 minutes we didn't really even manage to get forward at all. So after that 10-minute mark, like I say, we started to come into the game a bit, and we've got on the ball a bit more, got a bit further up the pitch, and we've actually played some good interplay with Rafinha, Roberts, Bamford, Costa, Click, all getting involved. Rafinha has been the star of our game so far. I think he's been the star of the whole game, to be honest. Even though we're 1-0 down at this point, Rafinha has been fantastic again. He's running rings around them, the little bits of dribbling. They're talking about his body. It's almost like his centre of gravity is very good. His body is always upright, always on balance, and he's always he looks like the only player who's not going to slip. Obviously he's doing very well dribbling with the ball, creating chances. It's just a lot of them, like, balls seem to be going a bit too far in front of him, or he passes it to Dallas and Dallas will slip. It's just that it's not quite clicking with the other players that are around him. But having said that, I think it will at some point. It's not going to stay like this forever. I think Tyler Roberts has been very good actually. Sometimes he's been giving the ball away in a little bit of a silly positions, and I have a feeling that he might be taken off at half time. We'll have to see when I go back downstairs to watch the second half. But I have a feeling that he might be taken off at half time. But I think going forward, he's actually been very good. He's got very tricky feet. He's been picking out some good passes and joining in that interplay, like I mentioned before. So I think Roberts has been good, but I think Costa's not been as effective as he was against Southampton. So I have a feeling as well that Harrison will come on just to sort of get that bit of impetus, fresh legs, go out and do something basically. I think Llorente, one little thing I want to pick out is something that I think can be quite effective, because it's what we did against Southampton when they were pressing high, was to get the ball quickly and play it into their half. Llorente carried the ball out somewhere near the end of the first half, and he fired one in from like the halfway line right to the edge of the box where Roberts was. Roberts took a good touch and blazed it over the bar. In another situation, that's on target. We have had quite a few shots on target. I think we've had 4 or 5 shots on target. Martinez has been good. Martinez is always good, but I just feel that a lot of our shots have been straight at him. So second half, what I really think needs to happen is we need to bypass the press earlier, firing quick balls into their half and trying to spring their press basically to bypass it. And I think we can get a goal. One little thing from the end of that half was the Llorente rolling around on the floor. You don't like to see that from your own player, but it's a bit in this day and age, I think he's doing it so that the referee will go back, or VAR will go back and have a look at the challenge just in case, because he doesn't actually know what it was like, but he knows it's Watkins kicked out at him. Watkins tries to drag him up after he's gone down and rolled around for ages, and Llorente squares up to him straight away and he's not limping anymore. So yeah, it's so that VAR would have a look at it, because he knows that he's been kicked out, but he doesn't know how bad it is. And really what Watkins has done is sort of squeezed his legs around him rather than kicking him or anything. He's sort of tripped him over. So it's not horrendous, but it was a bit of a kick out, so maybe it could have been a yellow card, but even then it would have been a bit of a soft one. The last thing I want to mention before this second half is that Leeds, in my belief, are the fittest team in the Premier League. If Villa keep up this high press, trying to get into those attacking situations by nicking the ball off us whilst we've got it in our defence, I don't think they're going to be able to keep that up for the whole game. So I think you're going to see in the late stages Leeds getting a lot more chances. I'm going to make my predictions now for the second half, and we'll have a look at this at the end of the game. Without Grealish, they don't look as dangerous. El Ghazi's had a lot of shots in that first half after his goal, but they're all from distance. I think we will score in this game. We just need one of those shots to beat Martinez, and I think I'm going to sit on the fence and say we draw 1-1 or we win 2-1. I can't call it. But that's going to be it for the first half. I'll see you after the game. I'm absolutely fuming. What the hell was that second half? Matt Targett should have had about three, 4, maybe 5 yellow cards. What's that about? He's already got a yellow card, and then he starts scraping down the back of Rafinha's heels with his studs. Surely VAR checked that for a red card? No. It should have been a yellow card, which would have made it a red card, so therefore it is a red card situation. Serious foul play. He should have been off. Leeds made some subs at the start of the half. Alioski came on for Strike. Click went into centre midfield, into holding midfield. Dallas went into centre midfield, and Alioski went to left back. Harrison came on a little bit later in the half for Costa, and Pablo came on as well for Roberts. Yeah, I might look a bit different now because I forgot to turn my light on, but yeah, I'm absolutely fuming. Right at the end of the game, Harrison clipped a ball to Rafinha, and Rafinha's header at the back post wasn't up to it. It just missed. It was mistimed. It was poor, really. But oh my god, how can you not add on extra time for time wasting? You had 5 minutes, right? So all that time before the 90 minutes, fair enough, that's been added on 5 minutes, right? That's fine. But then when they're wasting time within that 5 minutes with a substitution that takes at least a minute, all the time that they were time wasting, Konza not taking his kick, Mings going down in the box off that corner where Meslier came up to try and attack it. Nobody touched Mings. Nobody was anywhere near Mings, and Mings was just on the floor holding his shin. If anyone did touch him, it was upper body because they're going for a header off a corner. So what the hell is he doing lying on the floor? 20 seconds added on after the 5 minutes. 20 seconds. What's that about? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're supposed to add on extra time on top of the added time if somebody messes around time wasting in that 5 minutes. It's absolutely ridiculous. The actual game, Villa were good. Villa played a good game. They scored early. They gradually sat back until the end of the game when they were pinned in their own half. Obviously, that was a game plan. Score early. They did it, executed it perfectly, and it worked against us. That's fine. I'm on about them kicking lumps out of us. I know that we had a few niggles at them as well, but it was Click shoulder to shoulder with McGinn in the end in our corner. It wasn't like these studs up down the back of the heels challenges. Matt Targett, then he jumps up and elbows Pablo in the back of the head, and Pablo gets a yellow card for it, for saying off ref, because he's just been elbowed in the back of the head. He can feel it. He's saying elbow in the back of my head, and the ref's going, no, I didn't see it. But check it. VAR, check it. He's not going for the ball. He goes like that with his elbow up because he keeps it by his body. Is that some reason for it not to be a yellow card? He jumps and still goes for the elbow in the back of the head. Makes no sense. We had some opportunities later on in the half. Earlier in the half, we didn't really create anything. Usually when we've played, well, not poorly, but usually when we've not had great opportunities in the first half, we come out flying in the second half. We didn't really today. We sort of carried on the same and actually probably created less chances. It's one of them. I think we're safe now, but Villa obviously has been a bit of a rivalry over the last couple of years, but God, that's frustrating. I was fuming at the end of that game. 20 seconds added on, and that was all it was. And they made us retake that free kick as well, the ref, when there was absolutely nothing wrong with taking it where we were. The only thing that I've got to take from this is something that we can do in future games, which I think will actually maybe get us some more goals, is that I've noticed that most of the time, a lot of our crosses come from Ayling, Harrison, those sorts of players. A lot of them hit the back post and they're a bit heavy. Especially Click does it as well, actually. They have crosses that are a bit too heavy for the people at the front post. And Bamford always makes his run front post for these crosses, but he's sort of our biggest attacker, the biggest aerial threat that we have in attack. So if Bamford drops out and leaves his man and cuts in at the back post, I think he gets a couple of goals extra a season there, to be honest, because I noticed that he kept running front post and not getting on the end of anything. But that's going to be it for this video. As I say, I'm fuming, really. It's one of those where we've not played brilliantly, but still some of the things that happened in that game are really annoying to watch, especially from Villa, just the sort of time wasting and that element of it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you after the next game, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's Leeds_Lately, and if you want to check out our website where we post blogs weekly, that is leedslately.com, and both links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching.